What is going on, collectors? Optical 20 back for another video review. This time we're gonna take a look at Kong Skull Island version 2, the deluxe version from Star Ace. I want to thank our friends from Star Ace for giving me the opportunity to take a look at this figure. I missed out on their first version, so I'm just glad that I'm able to get my hands now on this second version. I'm not sure if this is better or not because the first one looks really great. I've seen some reviews on YouTube which has the comparison. So if you do have the first version, which is that looks menacing as well, I'm pretty sure you can double dip on this one because this is completely different pose and look that you can afford to have too. And look at the box right here. It's a humongous box. So now this is not as 1/6 scale, but it's kind of, I'm going to show you a size comparison later on that it's kind of in line with the 6 scale figure. It's like 12 inches or so, but as you can see here, the box is humongous. This is one of those boxes for 6 scale. This is the Batman Ninja, also from Star Aces. You can see the difference right here. The width, it's so skinny. I mean, it's great that Star Ace makes skinny boxes to begin with, so it's easier for us to store, us collectors, because that's one of our problems. At least my problem is where to store these boxes afterwards. So I'm glad that, you know, at least the Batman Ninja is skinny, but you can't really do it with this vinyl statue or figure anyway. So it's just a massive figure, and as you can see, it's well protected. So you'll get it in this nice plastic shell that is airtight, really. So even if you order this at Big Bad anyway, it's gonna come in double box. So just to let you know, there's two versions of this guy. One is the deluxe version, which I do have, and one is the regular version, which doesn't come with a stand and the chain. Now it's really up to you. I think it's more secure to go for the deluxe version since you kind of do have the stand. So it's, you know, your statue, which is, you know, and kind of, you know, a pricey investment, especially if you're a big fan of Kong. You want it secured in a shelf or something, especially if you have kids around throwing balls and all that stuff. Make no mistake about it, it can stand pretty well on its own, but I'm always a component of a stand. And speaking of stands, it's a gorgeous stand, by the way. It doesn't have any pegs whatsoever, but it does come with a footprint that is kind of indented. So when you rest his foot on it, it's more like it's not more. It's really secure. Plus, the stand looks really great, though. It just goes well with a figure. And this is one of those times where I rewatched the movie and I just anticipating now the Kong versus Godzilla movie, which is, you know, it's coming out there. And as you can see here, it's a beautiful vinyl figure. It's nice. It's not, how do I explain this? Because I'm used to just statue, which is heavy. This is not super light, but it's also not heavy like a statue. I like the weight on it for the simple fact that if you want to display this somewhere else, you know, you don't have to worry about the weight, because that's what I'm worried about. It's displaying statues in a like a glass figure case and whatsoever, because it might not support all the weight. But you don't have to worry about this guy. It's light enough that it's kind of like a weight of a 6 scale figure, honestly. But it doesn't, you know, the looks, as you can see here, all the paint application, and this is the base. It just looks phenomenal. This base, like I said, I rewatched the movie, so this is like on the final battle where you can see the ship docked there, and you got the chains on his hand, which you would get if you get the deluxe version. It's beautiful. The paint application. Look at that ship right there. It looks like it's been wrecked for years, and it's molding and all that stuff. And this is the backside of Kong. Look at the fur and just the beautiful paint application. And I love Kong, but I know there's a whole universe out there of collectors with X Plus and just Kong collectors, Godzilla collectors. And when I was trying to look for this figure, some reviews before I dabbled into it, I've seen there's just a whole lot of market in there, and I do hope that this sells well, because I do want to see Skullcrawler in this form, in this vinyl statue form. That would look good together. This one actually looks good with the first Kong as well, where it's just like the face is more like straight faced and just big and intimidating. This pose right here is more of I'm gonna eat you alive. He's mad. You can see all the details right here. The fur and the hair on his arms, the scratch on his chest. It's all beautifully well done. like I said, the paint application, the gray. You can see the hands are, his paws and his feet are more grayish black, and like different tones of colors that they use in here, and I think it just works great. The material that they used, again, it's vinyl. It is effective. If you're not familiar as well, and look at this face sculpt right here, that is just beautiful. I didn't go up close, and you can see there's some dirt on his teeth, on his fangs, his tongue, his different tones of colors as well. The eyes just look, especially when they zoomed into Kong's eyes towards the end of the movie, it clearly kind of represents that sun, that you always see in the movies. It's just beautiful, beautiful all throughout. And just turn it around here. I'm not sure what part of the movie. If this is towards the end of the movie, I guess you can put some blood on him, but I would reserve that, towards they can release as many Kongs as they wanted. I'm talking about Star Ace, because they just do a magnificent job on Kong. And all I wanted to see is more like Skullcrawler, maybe a fighting, kind of like with their Defo series, where they were fighting Skullcrawler and Kong. That would be an awesome display as well. And as you can see, that is just mean right there. The tongue, the teeth, it's just a different expression, like I mentioned earlier, from the first Kong that they released, and I think they nailed it. And I'm gonna put him in different poses here, and different background, not different poses. Obviously, I can't pose him since it's as a statue, but I'm gonna change around the background. It's something that I would love to do with the figures that I really do like, and one of them is Kong. And this is kind of like the iconic sunset that you always see in posters and wallpapers and all that stuff. It's just beautiful. So if you're trying to take a picture of him and trying to, change different backgrounds, or if you are posing him, let's say on a DTOLF or whatever your case may be, and you plan to print backdrops, which I would want to do, on my DTOLFs as well. So you would kind of see how it looks like, different types of backdrops and lighting and all that stuff. And it just works well. And you can see that he does have a chain. One of the instructions, you wrap around the chain on his arm. Pretty simple. I didn't even go in depth with the chain, because that chain is kind of rusty as well. And you can see the propeller in his hand. That is not removable, by the way. So there's really not much you can ask for this figure. And you see the backdrop, I changed it again. Just effective, just beautiful. And if you have the Defo series that they do have, take a look at that from Star Ace as well. They're the smaller versions of these, but highly detailed. They're not one of those Funko Pops that you would get from GameStop. They're more detailed. They're really unique, because they have different poses. And look at this right here. So that is the iconic shot of Kong, obviously, when he was that is the sunset, as you can tell there. That's just nice. I love now this thing that I do, that I change the backdrop, because it just gives you, I forgot to remove Kong from the back. I think it works well anyway, but you can see some color correction out there. So if you want to change the lighting for this Kong, make it red from the top, that would work well as well. So depending on whatever setup you have on your display case, or if you have a Kong gallery, which I'm planning to have as well. I hope they come up with Godzilla as well. I know if they do, and that is the Defo series that I'm talking about. He fighting Skullcrawler, and I just want to give you just a quick peek, a size comparison to this Batman Ninja that was also made by Star Ace, which is another phenomenal figure that I would take a closer look at. I know they didn't go to New York, but this is more like an iconic backdrop that I used, so I think it just works well. So I just want to show you just the size comparison here. So it's pretty much in line with a 1/6, and as you know, 1/6 is mostly 12 inches. Not all of them, but mostly 12 inches. So that is kind of like the height. So it doesn't look so awkward if you just collect 1/6, just like myself. And if you're collecting Defo series, as you can see from the bottom, there's this cute little vinyl figures, but so beautiful that I just want to collect them all. And I just want to show you the weight as well. So there's two versions. So if you just want to do Kong by itself, if you're not getting the deluxe version, this guy is, and I'm using pounds, so it's like around 1.5 pounds. So just give you an idea on how light or how heavy it is. I think it's just enough, just perfect weight. And this is him with a base just over a little over 2 pounds. So again, half a pound for the base itself. So not gonna put any stress on any of your, but also not super light that it would, the wind would just gush it out of your collection. So a little over half pound on that. So just to give you an idea, Ninja Batman, which I would put on the heavier side, is around 1.3 pounds. The heavier side because of his outfit. His outfit is rubber, and he has all these things in him. So if you do have a Detolf case, just like most collectors, at least here in the United States, this is how he would look like. It's just beautiful. He's a little bit massive because of, it's Kong, so it's a little wider and a little beefier than a typical 1/6 figure. And this is him without any stand. He can stand on his own perfectly fine. No balancing issue whatsoever. What you want to kind of worry about is if you have kids at home playing ball and all that stuff, knock over, your display case. I think he just looks so much better with a base as well. The base is just well done. This is just me personally. I would pick up the deluxe version, and look at him right there. That is just beautiful. Just don't mind my finger there. There you go. He looks good by himself, but he would also look good if you accompany him with the Defo Series Kong. There you go. So it would look better if there's like a skull crawler right next to him, or maybe if you do have the first version of Kong and you don't want to use the base because they might not fit. So you could do that, or put, the first version at the bottom at the second tier shelf. You could do that as well. Or if you have any other Defo series, you can put them on the right hand side, and you can kind of have this Kong gallery in here. So I think that looks phenomenal. And that is it, guys. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Are you a fan of Kong? Is this something that you are interested in? Let me know in the comments. If you can improve something, let us know as well. So maybe I can relay that to our friends in Star Ace. But in my opinion, it's a fantastic looking piece. Just beautiful, and looks well. It looks great in any collection that you might have. It doesn't matter if you're just collecting Marvel, DC, or any pop culture. You can't go wrong with Kong. He's iconic as you can be. And look at the box right there. It's one of those vintage looking boxes. So that is great as well. So once again, thank you for watching, guys. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so. Follow me on Instagram and Facebook. And also, if you are playing video games, follow me on Twitch as well. I haven't been there in a week because there's some, just some things happening in life. But typically I play all the time, but you probably would see me there more often than my live stream. So again, thank you for watching, and I would see you guys in the next review.